Each spring, just shy of 100 thoroughbred foals are born and take their first steps in this picturesque corner of Gloucestershire. Tweenhills Farm, set in 750 acres of the finest English pasture, is home to Qatar racing stallions, as well as the majority of the operation's band of broodmares and young stock. And for the next 3 years, we've been granted unprecedented access to follow 8 young foals on their journey from birth right through to possible future glory at Royal Ascot. In this first episode, we'll hear from the team at Tweenhills, whose tireless work helps nurture future champions from the very moment they arrive in the world. Among the hopefuls born at Tweenhills this spring are foals by legendary sire Galileo, Kipco 2000 Guineas winner Churchill, and the incomparable Frankel. But while the pedigrees of both sires and broodmares are unquestionable, there's no guarantee of success.
When we started this project, I couldn't tell you, I still can't tell you now, whether we will be following them right the way to the racecourse in Qatar's colours, whether we'll be going to the sales with some of them, and some, being living creatures, might not make the racecourse at all, who knows. The point of this journey is that it's a warts and all journey. You will see and learn everything about the process from the moment they were born to hopefully to the moment they win on the racecourse.
It's time to meet the 8 adorable foals who we'll be following on this journey.
Well, probably one of the star foals of the year is the Frankel colt out of Simple Verse. We sent Simple Verse to Frankel because we needed a stallion that would put a bit of speed into her, because as we know she was a St Leger winner and a 1.5 mile winner, and I have to say at the moment we couldn't be happier. That foal has all the class in the world and would be the envy of any stud.
Simple Verse had a first foal this year, a Frankel colt. He's very cheeky, bay like his dad, has a white star. From what I've heard from the guys at the stud, he's quite bulshy, like he likes to get in and see what's going on, and hopefully he turns out to be half as good as his dad.
Laryoka probably was a maiden who didn't overly like the whole experience to start with. She wasn't overly keen on the idea of it sucking afterwards, but once she realised it wasn't that bad, she did settle down, and she was fine quite quickly afterwards.
Larriock was a very, very fast 2-year-old filly who then trained on and was placed in the Commonwealth at Royal Ascot. So she's a sprinting, very, very quick, speedy bred filly. And we decided we would go speed and send her to Dark Angel in Ireland. And I'm delighted to say that this first foal out of her, there's lots of quality. And very often we'll do that with a maiden mare or a young mare. We'll send her to a proven stallion because we want at least one of the combination to be proven as a broodmare or as a stallion, as a producer. So Dark Angel has given us a really quality filly out of a very fast mare, and one thing's for certain, it'll go like the wind. Stroll Patrol. She's very speedy herself. So we went with Havana Gold because he's won a great speed sire, the sire of Havana Grey, who won a Group 1 sprint last season. So we bred speed to speed. This is probably the fastest looking foal we have on the farm, who's got the most amazing strength and size and looks like an absolute rocket.
Windfire had a lovely Churchill filly, one of our biggest fillies born so far this year. She's quite smart, quite strong like her mum, and hopefully she turns out to be very good.
Windfire was quite quick to get on with it. She'd done it all before, so it was quite natural to her.
We bought Aquila for a fortune of money as a Group 1 placed filly who was a Group 3 winner, and we sent her to Dubai because we wanted the ultimate proven stallion, and Dubai is obviously as exciting as it gets. And our first foal has got loads of his quality, loads of his strength. It is a bit of a first foal, so we're hoping that he's going to grow. Lightning Pearl is an absolute favourite of all of ours because she was Sheikh Fahad's first Group 1 winner, winning the Chivli Park. In Japan, she's produced a beautiful deep impact already, which we sold for an absolute fortune. But we brought her back with the deep impact insider that has been born here. And deep impact is one of the most valuable stallions in the world and probably one of the 3 best stallions in the world. Lots of quality, a very, very quality filly that we would hope will stay a mile and hopefully can go one better than her mother and win a classic.
Her foal-in was really quite quick. We were sort of starting to wonder whether she was or whether she wasn't foaling because she wasn't showing that many signs. And then all of a sudden there was movement and we had to jump into action quite quickly.
One of the most exciting brood mares on the planet is Just the Judge. Her first 2 Dubawis have sold for over $1 million, and we're awaiting the birth of the Galileo with bated breath. And I'm delighted to say that the Galileo filly that she's had is an absolute queen. This foal is an absolute star and I cannot wait to follow her through her career.
The same night as Laryoka we also had Heartless, who sort of caught us out a little bit by surprise. We were standing watching Laryoka and we heard Heartless starting to foal, so it was a quick dash and change of scene for that one. She had a Frankel colt who was quite weak when he was born but has strengthened up really quite quickly.
She had a Frankel colt, chestnut, quite a nice foal, quite strong, decent size, and hopefully it turns out to be as good as his dad again.
This is very much the beginning of an exciting journey for these young foals, and who knows, maybe one day one of these colts and fillies will be a winner at Royal Ascot.